Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News. Top 1. Today we are talking about a coin that stops collectors mid-sentence and makes historians raise an eyebrow at the same time. A United States gold $1 dated 1789 to 1797 sounds like something that could change your life overnight. But here's the shocker. An official US gold $1 from that era was never supposed to exist. That's why this coin pulls people in so fast. Some swear they've seen one. Others claim their grandfather owned one. Online listings pop up with bold claims and blurry photos. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's real, what's not, and why pieces linked to this period can still be worth serious money. Stay with me, because we're going to uncover what people actually mean when they say, gold won $1,789 to 1797, how to spot the difference between a myth and a treasure, and what collectors are truly paying at auctions today. So let's look closely. Picture early America just after independence. The nation is brand new. George Washington is president. The US Mint is still figuring things out. Gold coins do exist, but they're big ones. $5 half eagles and $10 eagles start appearing around 1795. A gold $1 simply isn't part of the system yet. That's the first big clue. If someone shows you a tiny gold coin dated 1789, 1792, or 1797 and calls it an official US gold dollar, alarms should go off immediately. Now here's where it gets interesting. There are three things people are usually talking about when they mention this coin. First, pattern coins. In the earliest days of the mint, experimental pieces were made to test designs, metals, and sizes. Some were struck in gold. These were never meant for circulation. They were presentation or testing pieces, often with unusual dates or designs. If a genuine early gold pattern tied to the 1790s exists, it's extremely rare and almost always locked away in museums or elite collections. Second, commemorative or fantasy pieces. Many gold tokens and medals were made later, sometimes in the 19th or 20th century, dated to honor the founding years of the United States. They might say 1789 or show early American symbols. They look old. They feel historic. But they are not circulating coins. Third, misidentified foreign gold coins or privately minted tokens. Early gold from Europe or colonial-era pieces sometimes get mistakenly labeled as early US coins because the designs feel familiar. This is where collectors get caught. The coin looks old. The date feels powerful. The story sounds incredible. Here's a quick visual tip. If you're filming this, show a slow close-up of the coin's date. Then zoom out to the design. Real early US coins usually say, United States of America, very clearly and follow known design types. Anything that feels off deserves closer inspection. Now let's talk value, because this is what everyone waits for. A genuine early US gold pattern from the 1790s, if confirmed and documented, would be a museum-level rarity. Pieces like that can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, but they almost never appear on the open market. Most gold pieces dated 1789 to 1797 that collectors actually encounter are commemorative or privately minted tokens. Their value depends on gold content, condition, and demand. Many trade in the range of a few $100s to a few $1,000s. Some exceptional or historically popular pieces have reached auction prices of several $1,000s, but they are not million-dollar finds. That difference matters a lot. Here's the cliffhanger moment. The real treasure isn't believing every gold coin with an early date. The real treasure is knowing what you're holding before anyone else does. So ask yourself this. Do you own a gold coin with a strange early US date? Have you ever seen one that made you stop scrolling and look twice? Drop it in the comments. Which early American coin would you love to add to your collection if money weren't an issue? To wrap it up, the so-called United States gold $1 from 1789 to 1797 is one of the most fascinating myths in American numismatics. It teaches us how powerful dates can be, how stories grow, and why knowledge is everything in coin collecting. While no official gold dollar from that era exists, related gold patterns, tokens, and commemoratives can still carry real value and real history. Top 2. Today we are diving into a coin that sounds like it should not exist, yet keeps showing up in conversations, collections, and late-night online listings. A United States of America gold $1 dated 1801 to 1809. If that sentence alone made you stop and think, you're already on the right track. Here's the tease. By the end of this video, you'll know why this coin causes so much confusion, what collectors are really talking about when they mention it, how to tell myth from history, and what similar gold pieces from this era actually sell for at auction. And yes, some people have made serious money by understanding this difference. Let's slow it down and look at the coin itself. Imagine a small gold piece, warm in color, often showing a Liberty-style portrait or early American symbols. The date reads somewhere between 1801 and 1809. On camera, this is where you'd want a tight close-up on the date, then a slow pan across the surface to show texture, strike quality, and any lettering. This is the moment that hooks collectors. Now here's the truth that surprises almost everyone. The United States did not officially issue a gold $1 coin during the years 1801 to 1809. In fact, the first official U.S. gold dollar wouldn't appear until 1849. That alone changes everything. So why does this coin keep coming up? Because early American gold is complicated, and that's where the value hides. During the early 1800s, the U.S. Mint was striking gold coins, but they were larger denominations. The $5 half eagle and $10 eagle were real, circulating coins. At the same time, private minters, jewelers, and later commemorative makers produced small gold pieces dated to early years of the Republic. Some were patterns, some were presentation pieces, and others were created decades later to honor the early presidents like Thomas Jefferson. Here's a visual cue. If you're filming, cut to a comparison shot. Show a known half eagle from the early 1800s next to the so-called gold dollar-sized piece. The size difference tells a big story instantly. What makes these pieces valuable isn't face value. It's rarity, gold content, craftsmanship, and demand. Some are pattern-style pieces inspired by early U.S. designs. Others are privately minted gold tokens that collectors chase because of their historical connection and limited numbers, and then there's the cliffhanger detail collectors love. Some of these pieces show unusual die characteristics, off-center strikes, or design elements that never appeared on circulating U.S. coins. These aren't mint errors in the modern sense, but they are production quirks that increase collector interest. Here's where stories come alive. Picture the early 1800s. The country is expanding. Gold is flowing in from abroad. Private gold is changing hands quietly, long before standardized coinage becomes widespread. Owning gold then wasn't about pocket change. It was about trust, power, and survival. Now let's talk money, because that's what everyone waits for. Most gold pieces dated 1801 to 1809 that resemble a $1 size trade based on their gold content and collector demand. Common examples often sell in the range of several $100s. Scarcer, well-documented pieces in strong condition have reached auction prices from $1,000 into the low thousands. Truly rare pattern-related or historically significant examples can sell for several $1,000s when authenticated and properly attributed. These are real prices, not fantasy numbers. So here's the question that matters. Do you own a small gold coin with an early 1800s date? Have you ever seen one that made you stop and wonder if it was real? And if you could add any early American gold coin to your collection, which one would it be? Let's wrap this up clearly. The United States of America gold $1 dated 1801 to 1809 isn't an official circulating coin, but it represents one of the most fascinating corners of early American numismatics. These pieces sit at the crossroads of history, gold, and storytelling. When you understand what they truly are, you stop chasing myths and start spotting real value. Top 3. Today we are talking about a gold coin that sounds completely normal at first, and then quietly breaks the rules of U.S. coin history. A United States of America gold $1 dated between 1837 and 1841. That date range alone should make serious collectors pause, because if you know early American coins, you already know something doesn't add up. Here's the tease. In the next few minutes, you'll learn why coins dated 1837 to 1841 cause so much debate, what kind of gold pieces from this era actually exist, the small design details that separate common gold from collector gold, and what verified examples connected to this period have really sold for at auction. Let's start by looking at the coin itself. Picture a small gold piece, roughly the size of a modern dollar, with a soft but rich yellow tone. Liberty usually appears on the front, sometimes with a youthful portrait, sometimes with classical styling. On video, this is where you bring in a slow rotation shot under good light so viewers can see the surface, the edges, and the sharpness of the strike. Early gold tells its story through wear. Now here's the key fact that changes everything. The United States did not officially issue a circulating gold $1 coin between 1837 and 1841. The first true U.S. gold dollar wouldn't arrive until 1849, during the California Gold Rush. So what are these coins? This is where history gets interesting. The year 1837 marks a major turning point in U.S. coinage. That's when the mint changed gold and silver purity to a standard that would last for decades. Designs were updated. Technology improved. And behind the scenes, experimental and pattern coins were created to test sizes, weights, and designs for future denominations. Some gold pieces dated around 1837 to 1841 are patterns or experimental strikes. They were never meant for everyday use. Others are privately minted gold pieces or later commemorative issues inspired by early U.S. designs. They look official. They feel historic. And without knowledge, they're easy to misidentify. Here's a visual moment to use. Show a confirmed 1849 gold dollar next to an 1830s-era gold pattern or token. The similarities can be striking, and that's exactly why collectors get drawn in. What makes certain examples valuable is not the date alone. It's documentation, rarity, and condition. Some pieces from this era show unusual die alignments, incomplete details, or design elements that never appeared on circulating coins. These aren't mistakes in the modern sense, but they are clues that the coin was part of something experimental, and here's the cliffhanger most people miss. Many of these coins were made in tiny numbers, sometimes just a handful, and quietly preserved by early collectors who understood what they were holding. Let's put this into historical context. The late 1830s and early 1840s were tense years for the U.S. economy. Banks failed. Gold disappeared from circulation. Confidence in money mattered more than ever. Gold pieces, official or not, represented stability. That's why these coins still carry emotional weight today. Now let's talk about value. Clearly and honestly, most gold pieces dated 1837 to 1841 that resemble a $1 size trade based on gold content and collector interest. Many sell for several $100s. Scarcer, authenticated pattern-related or historically significant examples in strong condition have sold for $1,000 to several $1,000s at major auctions. Museum-level patterns can go higher, but those are rarely available and heavily documented. These are real market numbers, not hype. So here's where I want to hear from you. Do you own a gold coin with an early 1800s date that you've never fully identified? Have you ever passed on one and later wished you hadn't? And if you could add one early American gold piece to your collection, which would it be? To wrap this up, the United States of America gold $1 dated 1837 to 1841 sits in a fascinating gray area of U.S. coinage. It represents transition, experimentation, and the groundwork for one of America's most iconic gold coins that would arrive just a few years later. When you understand the story, you stop chasing myths and start recognizing real historical value. If this video helped you see early gold coins differently, hit like, leave a comment, subscribe for more rare coin deep dives, and check out the next video where we uncover another American coin that most people completely misunderstand.